Sally Sussman's writing this week. Did Y&R get better? Let's talk about it on this week's Restless Wrap-Up.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, it's Nadia's theme here. And we're chilling because we got a new writer this week and things are starting to look up, except for Sharon. But that's okay. I'm your host, Lacretia Lyon. You can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one. And as always, I have my lovely co-host.
Hi guys, I'm Abbey Scott. If you'd like to follow me, do so below. This has been an exciting week on Y&R. Sally Sussman is writing. Yeah.
I know. Well, let's just get into it. I mean, there was so much going on this week, and for the most part, I liked it. I liked that we had Victor and Ashley scenes. Tracy was back. There was so much good. And, like, I'm going to start with my favorite storyline, though, since I predicted it since this show started, by the way, guys. Devon and Mariah. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, but, you know, I came after, you know, Hillary and Devon getting it on.
Shade.
Yes, right. But his heart belongs to Mariah. He definitely, you know, he definitely respects Mariah, and I love the dig to Hillary because she was like, but I tried to seduce you, and like, oh my God, please let me be the host of GC Bus. She was like dying, thinking that she wasn't going to host the show. She's like, but we're doing Chelsea, and it's gonna be so nice and awesome. It's like, you know what, Hillary, you had your shot, and you failed miserably, and I think Mariah would be a lot better of a host. She's more personable.
Yeah, like Devon was literally my favorite character this week for the, like, yeah, he's gonna have sex with Hillary, it's marriage, whatever, and then he's just like, no, you're still fired. She's like, what? Like, her face when he's like, no, I still don't want you to be the host. Like, it was such an awesome moment. And then to have Mariah be the one that he goes to, I knew that was going to happen because she was like, I'm so done with this. And it's like, no, you're not. And what he said about her was like, you are snarky and you are entertaining, but you have a good heart.
Absolutely. Like right as she was like looking for new jobs, he like came to the rescue. But yeah, no, I was so happy that Hillary got what she deserves.
Oh yeah.
And she's going to die when she finds out that Mariah is her replacement, and I can't wait for that. Oh my God.
Yeah, the previews were showing a little bit of it, and I knew she'd go after her, but again, it's just like Mariah's gonna replace you as the host of the show. She's gonna get your man eventually, because as I said, chemistry there, and I like the whole, you know, she's all that, you know, storyline. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you always want the good girl to win.
Yeah.
And for like, you know, the popular girl who has a bad attitude like Hillary to see her day in court, because she's just been so nasty, and she doesn't care whose people's lives that she ruined. She doesn't care. And you know, just for like, you know, oh, but I want like accoladed by these random people that I don't know on the internet. It's
and we do that too, but we're not as mean as Hillary. I like that Devon's like, but you're nasty. Like you try to hurt people, and I don't like that. I don't want that on there. We wanted something better for this, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
I just loved how he had her number.
But I don't understand why Devon wants to be with someone like that. It's like, Devon, you can't have it both ways. You can't be like married to somebody who is so nasty, but then like, you know, I mean, I understand, you know, he wants GC Buzz to be a good show, but it's like, she's not a good person. So how can you like go to sleep with that person every night? It's like, just date Mariah.
Yeah, and I feel like it's going that way because, too, the Hillary that Devon got with initially, even though they were treating behind his dad's back, was a much better person. And that sounds really bad, but it's true. Even though she was going behind his dad's back with him, was somehow a better person than the Hillary that we've gotten ever since she came out of that coma. And it's sad, but it's true. It's like, this is the person she sort of came on as, like a chip on her shoulder, wanting to ruin their lives, things like that. And then she had that period of great love with Neil and Devon, and that she had become a better person. But she had revertigo and reverted back to her old ways.
It is true, because
How I Met Your Mother.
It just seems like forever she's just been a really malicious person. And, you know, ever since she's been the host of GC Buzz, all she's wanted to do is ruin people's lives just for ratings. And I'm glad that Devon's putting his foot down. And he even said, he's like, what kind of boss would I be if I went back on my word? I told you that if you don't follow these guidelines, that you will be fired. So you're fired. No second chances, no third chances, no fourth chances, Hillary. We know what you want. And she wants those ratings. And, you know, I don't know if GC Buzz is going to last with the kind of format that Devon wants, because people do want the gossip. Even, you know, Chelsea and Chloe were having that conversation. Like, whoa, we love GC Buzz, all the gossip.
I admittedly watch TMZ and Wendy Williams and stuff like that. But at the same time, I prefer to watch stuff like, for example, Talking Dead, because I'm a big Walking Dead fan. It's not a gossip show. It's just like a super excited, like, you know, sort of after show, but like news. Like Chris Hardwick is a very positive person.
Yeah.
I enjoy him just as much as I enjoy Harvey Levin or Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is if they're going to keep this, I feel like they'll have good ratings, you know, for the show. Because Mariah can give a snark without, that's the thing, is you can make fun of stuff without being mean.
Exactly. You know, they just have to pick and choose what they're making fun of. And there's just so much in Genoa City. There's just so much to pick from. And that's the problem, is that there's so much scandal, so many people cheating on each other, infidelities, and, you know, who did this and what did what. And so it's like, you know, it's hard to not air that kind of drama and publicity. But we'll see how it works out with Mariah and Devon. And yes, once again, you guessed it, Lacretia.
I know, because I wanted them to be together, because the thing is I wanted Mariah to have a relationship outside of Kevin, and for Kevin to be chasing her. And if that doesn't happen, I'm still okay, because I love Devon, and I've wanted Devon away from Hillary ever since she came out of that coma and was a huge bitch. Because Devon deserves better. Yes, he did sleep with his father's wife, and that was disgusting, but I really can't think of another really bad thing Devon ever did.
I know, he's such a likable character, and he is a really good son to Neil. And, you know, I think he does feel badly about that. But you know what? I don't think it was meant to be for Neil and Hillary. I can't see them together at all. I see Neil with like someone like Ashley, you know, not Hillary. She's like way too immature for him. And even Devon is way too mature for Hillary. She just is not, I don't know, she's not mature at all. Yeah. And I think he needs someone to balance him out and be more like him, like Mariah.
Yeah, and like you say, the same thing for Neil. I'd rather see Neil with a more mature woman like Ashley or Nikki or somebody like that. Because Hillary is just like, I want to see her fall. And I know that sounds terrible, but it's just like, screw that bitch. She needs some karma.
Absolutely, yeah. The chats agree. Aaron Brody, Hillary has become a fame whore. Yes, I want more Devon. Don't we all? Lauren says, that is what I loved. He stuck to his word and kept Hillary fired. Yeah, she absolutely deserved that. And oh my God, it felt so good. Oh my God, I loved seeing her face. She was fuming, but she had to keep her cool, because she's like, maybe he'll change his mind. And it's like, no, all of her seducing, it just didn't work at all. And you could tell she was like, shh, let's not talk about that. And then when it came to like, no, you're not going to be hosting, then it's like, wait, what? Oh, now you want to talk about business? She's so transparent, and I'm glad Devon's finally seeing that, and hopefully he'll see that in his personal life too, and their relationship, because there is no relationship. It's all about her and what she wants, and she doesn't even really care about Devon and their relationship anymore. Everything is just a guise to you know, for her agenda. She has an agenda to be the host of GC Buzz, and to, you know, to push these negative stories that hurt people's lives. She doesn't care about Devon, you know? He's like a chess piece, you know? She's just trying to... Yeah, he's the pawn. I don't know.
And I don't like that about Hillary, but I do love Michelle Morgan, and I love to hate Hillary. So I don't want her to leave. No. I just want her to suffer a bit.
Yes. Yeah, we just want you to suffer, Hillary. Yeah, I mean, her character deserves to suffer. She's just been so nasty to other people. So, you know what goes around comes around. I'm a big believer in karma. That's why I try to be good to other people, because it does. It really, I believe in that. It comes around.
Yeah.
When you put that out into the universe, it comes back. And it's definitely coming back at her, and all Mariah's good karma and good juju is coming, you know, coming for her, because I think that's what she wanted, essentially. She doesn't know it, but she does want to be the host of GC Buzz. And she wants to get credit for, you know, the things that she actually comes up with, and not just be like, go get my coffee.
And I want good things for Mariah, because even though Mariah kept Sharon's secret, it was because she is someone who found this family that she didn't know she had. She's trying to make a good place in the world, and she made the best decision she could at that point in time. She was in a rock and a hard place. Her intentions are good, even though when she came on, she was gaslighting Sharon. She didn't know this. She didn't know this was her mother. Like, she was working for Victor, and she, you know, was trying to break up Abbey and Tyler and things like that. This is not the person who Mariah became with her friendship with Kevin, her relationship with her family, which includes Dylan and Sharon and Faith and all that. It's so sweet. Mariah is a good person, so we want to see good things for her. And this is really going to be a good storyline coming through, I hope.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely leaning towards that, because Hillary, I don't think she's going to take any of this really well. I think it's going to totally bring out her true colors. And Devon's just going to be like, I'm done. I'm not dealing with your bad attitude anymore. And Mariah, you're right. She has become such this, you know, kind person. And even though she was sticking up for Sharon, I mean, it's her mom, and people understand that. And I think Kevin's characteristics definitely has rubbed off on Mariah, because she's become a very good person and a good character, and Devon sees that in her, and that's why he keeps going to her. He went to her initially to kind of like, he was hoping she would level out Hillary. It just didn't work out. It's like, you can't, you know, Hillary needs way more than just a little rubbing off on. She needs like a whole makeover, inside and out.
Yeah, and I guess we'll transition into some of the other winters, because we did have a little bit of Neil this week with the Jack coming back to the foundation. And I really like that storyline, because, you know, it branches off from last week of Jack wanting to help that guy, like, who was our first patient. And now we have a full force. I just really want to see more of Neil, and I want him to have a lady.
Yeah, you know, he just comes in like, hi, and he's so suave and he's so charismatic. But yeah, he definitely, I think, hopefully with Jack coming back to the foundation, they'll get a little bit of a better storyline for Neil. And I really feel a good storyline coming on for Lily, if the writers go where I hope they're going.
Speaking of Lily, like, didn't you love when Lily met Jesse? And at least Neil was like, this is Jessica. Like, even, did I say Neil? Well, I meant Kane. I'm like, yeah.
Trust me, I was doing that last week. I was like, who'd you go, what?
I was like, what did I just say? Kane, her husband, not her dad. That's gross. I was like, yeah, this is Jessica. Like, he didn't try to hide it, and didn't, like, you know, because he's like, I thought she hired this woman. Like,
yeah, but I totally thought that was awesome that Kane did that. But then I was so surprised when the next scene, like, Lily was gone. I was like, no, I thought Lily was going to tell that bitch to get the fuck out, to get the freak out of there. I was like, you know, I didn't think she would just disappear and be okay with it. It's like, she looked pretty shocked that was Jesse. She even said a man, you know, and it's like, no, this is an attractive female alone with your husband. And she's like obviously flirting with Kane.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And to me, the only way that Kane is going to cheat on Lily, because he had the offering of Lauren, who is, in my opinion, up there as far as one of the hottest women of the show. And Michael was like pushing them together during his cancel storyline. So I don't see Kane cheating willingly. I think it's going to be a matter of he's going to get hooked on the drugs, and there's going to be something there, because they wouldn't be throwing this in there if there's not going to be more to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I sensed it coming last week. That's why I made my swipe right, even though that was a joke, me making that my swipe right. But yeah, no, I definitely think that the pills will definitely also come into play, because she was like, you know, or reading an advertisement, don't do drugs, kids. You know, she was like, don't take too many pills. Sometimes you don't know you're hooked. It's like, we get it. And Kane was just like, it was all going over his head. He was like, yeah, I'm going to throw these away, and then I'm going to get him out the trash can when you leave.
I love how he's like, this is what I thought is immediately when I saw that scene with her throwing those trash. Is Kane's mind is like, bitch, don't throw those away. I need those.
You could be my drug.
Yeah.
Your love is my drug. But yeah, she was just throwing herself at him. And I don't know how Lily's going to take any of this because she seems very intuitive. And so I don't know if she's going to catch on right away. I don't know if the writers are going to have, Kane go down there. But like I said, it would make a great story. Even my mom and I were talking about it. She was like, if the writers go go that way, Lily could have a great storyline with that.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. And she needs it. I mean, we've been saying for the last 3 months. I don't know how long we've been saying it, but I've been saying it since I've been here. I'm like, Lily, come on, because I love Crystal and she's such a great actress. And her, Kristoff, they all need storyline. It's all about the story. So,
and two, because it's dealing with addiction, this is where Kristoff can come in as Neil and be a part of helping Kane. Because even though he's going to be angry if he cheats on his daughter or whatever, if that is what comes about, he's going to want to help Kane no matter what, because he does love Kane like a son, just like he loves Devon.
Yeah. And the foundation is absolutely going to be more close to home than he ever thought. It's going to be, Kane that needs the help, not just some random Joe Schmo blow. It's going to be, no, this is my daughter's son and he needs to help. So, and I think Jack's going to play a part in that. And I think that's going to bring everyone together.
Yeah.
So hopefully they go that route, because I think that could be a great storyline. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I will say, at least Lily didn't mention Hillary until she was like, Devon fired Hillary. Like, I love how she was just laughing so hard at that. And then Neil's like, but I want her to be the host of this event because she knows her PR. I will say Hillary is good at faking being a decent human being. She's like the Barbara Walters. Yeah, that's shade. Of GC. Sorry.
I don't know if I call it Barbara Walters though. I know maybe the Jerry Springer. Oh, I don't know if she's that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Hillary is good with schmoozing and all that nice stuff, and I think that Mariah needs to learn a little bit more about that. But I don't think Devon's really thinking that far.
Yeah.
I think he's just thinking, you know what? We need a clean house. We need to be putting out good content. We can't be hurting people. I mean, come on. His dad has the Winters Foundation, which is all about good and helping people. And then he's going to have some trash TV. Devon, he has a good heart, so he doesn't want that. So I don't think he's even thinking that. And I think GC Buzz already has enough publicity, so they don't need Hillary.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is Neil's like, well, even though she's fired, I'm still going to use her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think he has a soft spot for her. I don't know why.
He still
so
does,
Jack,
and I don't
right?
get it. It's just Hillary must be really good in bed, although I don't get Jack's thing with her.
Obviously not that good in bed, because Devon was still like, nope, you're still fired, So she was very surprised. She's like, but I used all my, the right moves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's look at the chat. Lauren says, can't wait for Hillary and Devon divorcing. Absolutely.
Yes.
So are we. Aaron Brody, yes. Giselle, I like Sharon and Mariah scenes. Kevin has moved on with Chloe. Kane's physical therapist was beautiful. She was beautiful. She was gorgeous. Yeah, Brian says, she's fine as hell. I like that. Yeah. She is. Well, it was so obvious that they were going there. I was like, your physical therapist isn't that beautiful, throwing herself at him. So I'm going to be very surprised if Kane doesn't fall for it.
Yeah, because of the pills. Because you saw he was already tempted by that model at Brash and Sassy, and he didn't take the bait. Yeah. That's why I see is we've already and they wouldn't have set that up if they didn't intend on going a different direction later.
Yeah,
because it's to show that Kane is a good husband, and then it's going to be only the drugs that take him there. I mean, just like Lucky Spencer on General Hospital.
Yeah,
but. Speaking of General Hospital, this week of General Hospital, December just keeps getting hotter. Hayden is at death's door. Will Finn's experimental serum save or kill her? We need Robin Scorpio's stat. But in the meantime, Lulu vows to fight with everything she has to keep little Charlotte away from Valentine. Ugh. Get ready for another Spencer Cassadine battle, only less interesting. Maxie throws Sam a baby shower, but what happens during the party, it's going to be a shocker. Okay, this is cool because they at least remembered that Maxie and Sam are friends. Since this is the holiday season, could it be seasons of miracles for Alexis and Julian? I love Julian and Alexis, so let's see. What is about to happen you will not believe. Is there another Jerome coming to town? Little Bird told me there may be. Plus, Laura makes a choice. Will she make Kevin part of her life in 2017? She better. And apparently she does give him an answer this week. And it better be yes. But also, the Corinthos family celebrates their first Christmas without Morgan. That's pretty sad. But the day turns awkward with Neil's presence. So that's going to be interesting. Nell. I'm like way too into Y&R right now. I'm forgetting people's names. And what would be a holiday without a scandalous murder? Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Who will they kill? Get ready for a winter murder mystery that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Don't miss a minute of General Hospital all this week on ABC Daytime. And also watch our after show here at 5:30 Pacific Time at AfterBuzz TV on Sundays.
Wow, sounds like a lot of drama on General Hospital.
I know, so good. And with Steve Burton possibly being back, maybe,
Really?
eventually. That's what all of us pray, because if he's leaving Y&R, he better be on General Hospital.
But wasn't he leaving Y&R because he lived in Nashville?
Yeah.
And because of the and General Hospital films out here as well, right?
Exactly, but as I say, they can work it out.
Yeah, they can work it out.
In my fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? He is an amazing actor, so he hopefully will stay somewhat in the daytime drama, even though he's a comedian. I could not, like,
Yeah.
I love it how they're so dramatic, these comedians on Young and the Restless, but they're so, you know, I don't get it.
I'm really upset that he and Stitch will be breaking up. Like, we're going to lose Dylan and Stitch's relationship, and Steve and Sean are such a funny comedic duo. I want to see more of that. But maybe Sean will go to Nashville and do stand-up at, Zany's, which is a big Zany.
I wish that they showed more of, like, their comedic side,
Yeah.
on Y&R. It's like they always make it so dramatic. It's like they hardly have those lighthearted moments. I wish they would let them be the comedians that they are and be like, you know what, just improv a little bits of some comedy, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe now that Steve is leaving, Christian LeBlanc, who's Michael, can have his scenes with Stitch. Because they're a little like, I don't know if you guys follow them on Instagram, but you totally should, because that's the most entertaining thing. I love the show, but like I honestly look more forward to their Instagrams.
Their Instagram. That's so funny. Yeah, and in person, they're just like, like at the panel, it's like Christian LeBlanc was just like
Singing.
He was singing and he was dancing and he was just like hilarious. Like the whole cast could not stop laughing.
Yeah, even at the daytime Emmys, he just jumped into my interview with Sean and ruined it, but it was fun. So I was like, pfft.
Yeah, right?
you say or do whatever you want, Christian. It's fun.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so dramatic on Young and the Restless. I'm gonna be, he's definitely, he is so funny. So I could see why they're comedians, because they're really funny guys.
Well, speaking of those funny guys, I want to talk about Lauren, but we did have one Stitch scene, so I guess we'll go there, because he did have a scene with Abbey that was really awkward.
Always.
Yeah.
Their run-ins are always so awkward, and I feel so bad for him. It's like, he even had his wedding ring still on, and he noticed that she didn't have it on. It's just like, it's so sad. Every time they run into each other, it's so awkward and sad, and you just always feel bad for him.
Well, to me, though, with the news we'll talk about later, with Travis not being on campus anymore, could Stitch and Abbey get back together? I don't think, at this point, I don't want to see them back together because of how they ended, but I want Stitch to stay, so I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Well, I like how both of them didn't just jump in bed with someone else.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, they definitely are taking this time to kind of find themselves, especially Abbey, which I really respect. But I just don't feel the chemistry there. Like, maybe on his side more than her side, but I think that was the problem in the first place. That's why they broke up, is because, he felt it and she didn't. She just didn't feel it anymore. She didn't have that moment like he did. And I think Abbey needs to have spark with somebody. And I just don't feel it with anybody right now in the cast. So I feel like they need to bring someone else in, or like I would have said even Travis. They really, I mean, Travis is a really good looking guy. So, I mean, you know, I think that that's why Summer and even Abbey had chemistry with him.
Yeah, because Michael Rourke is awesome, by the way, and it's sad to see him leave. But, like, because I thought they were going to go somewhere with him and Abbey and Ashley, sort of a Stitch redux. But at the same time, it was going to be different, so I was okay with it. But there is a casting, since it was just earlier today, so we didn't get into news and gossip. But I'll mention it now since we're talking about it. They're looking for a 30-something African-American male writer who has to be at least 6 feet tall, and he sounds hot. And so if Donnell were ever leave GH, he would come over here, although he was already a doctor on Y&R with Sean Kerrigan. It's funny because we all met each other at a party.
Oh, I love it.
Hey, I was on there. So that'd be cool. But at the same time, I like him over at GH, so keep him there. But there are plenty of sexy 30-something African-American males that they could cast as writer. And I feel like it's for Abbey.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. I mean, you know, I know that you were feeling Abbey and Devon.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite feeling that, but, you know, Abbey definitely needs a love interest. Maybe it's for Hillary, though.
I thought about that it could be for Hillary, but I don't want Hillary to get with someone else. I want her to suffer, like, big time. Like, watch Devon and Mariah through the window, like, yep. Rich dudes with the poor girl.
Oh, I love it.
And you're alone.
Yeah.
But Abbey is who I'm like hoping this is for, because I really like Abbey, the person she's become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's a sweetheart, and it may absolutely be for her, but Hillary is just such an opportunist, and she, you know what I mean? And she uses her sex appeal a lot more than Abbey does. So, I mean, if it's like them up against this one guy coming in.
I could see that, yeah.
Like, Hillary's gonna, she's gonna take over. I'm the same way. I'm very similar to Abbey. It's like, I always like, if there's another female and she's competing for the same, you have them. I like, just give up, because it's like, I could never be on like The Bachelor or something. It's like, I can't deal with females that are just like,
oh, I know. I'm the same way, because I'm also like, I'm so awesome. So,
know,
like,
right?
if you want me, you can have me. But if you don't, I'm going to go over here.
Right? We're just like, I'm just so fantastical. And if you don't realize that, then whatever.
It's like, I'm not going to throw down with those bitches.
No, absolutely.
I'm too classy for that.
So I feel like
drinking wine.
Abby's kind of that way,
Yeah.
and Hillary is absolutely not. She will do anyone. She will cut anyone's throat, you know, stab anyone in the back to get what she wants. But I know we went on a little off course right there. But you know what? It was fun. Candace Max says, I miss Travis. I wanted him to be Sharon's brother. Oh, yeah. They kind of do look alike.
Yeah, that's what I always thought, that they were going to make them related if he stayed, but
Yeah. So it's definitely that he's gone.
yeah.
By Travis. I sensed it, though. It was like he just, you know, there was a bunch of flowers, there was a boat, and then he was gone, you know, and then it was Billy.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, just before we get to Billy Victoria, we'll discuss. I don't know who Texas Battle is from Bold and the Beautiful, but I'm gonna Google it because that is the best name ever. Is someone from Texas? I'm like, that's a dude's real name. That is awesome. I'm gonna look him up. But or Lawrence St. Victor. I'm gonna have to like Google these guys because I don't know who they are. I apologize, Bold and the Beautiful fans.
Are these people that could possibly be Ryder?
Be that guy, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Well, that's the fun thing. You never know. You never know who's gonna pop into Genoa City. And I'm still waiting for Erica Jane to come to Genoa City.
I know that should be coming up soon. Yeah.
Because how many do I give? I see. I still don't want to cuss in front of you guys.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
You guys, please go download Erica Jane's song. I love that song.
And Candace Max says, why not bring Leslie's brother? Him and Abbey were an item. That was Tyler, and he was also with Mariah. To me, he's done a lot of primetime work. He was on Lucifer. It was a pretty cute little guest star role. If you guys want to watch that, it was in the season 1 of Lucifer. It's pretty funny. But yeah, to me, Tyler was a little bland. They didn't ever really write much for him. So I'd rather see a new guy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, you know, Abbey definitely needs a new guy. And like I said, hopefully, like we were agreeing, hopefully it's for Abbey and not for Hillary, we're hoping. Well, I'm hoping that Hillary's at least alone, and I hope Devon
suffer.
suffer.
But yeah, speaking of not suffering, Victoria may have dumped Travis. Poor Travis. R.I.P. Travis. Loved you. But Billy has always been my man as soon as Jason Thompson took over the role. And that is just like full steam ahead, I guess. Yeah.
Right? I know. I know. It's really leading in that direction that him and Victoria are going to get back together. And he's really putting himself out there. I thought that was a really great scene when he kind of offered to spend Christmas Day together.
Yeah.
And she, turned him down. But I think she's going to have a change of heart, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
They're totally going to do it by Christmas. That's going to be the Christmas miracle.
I know.
Is Billy back together?
I know. When he first knocked on the door and he's like, what did he say? Ghost of Christmas Past? I thought it was maybe Travis.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Billy.
Billy's the quick wit. That was so funny.
I hope he improv that. He's hilarious. He seems like another comedian.
Yeah, Jason is actually not a comedian, but he does sometimes improv lines because you can tell. Because as I say, a few weeks ago, there was, him talking about drinking in the gutter. And he's like, depends on what happened. And Jess Walton laughs so hard.
Yeah, you can tell, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's just, he seems like a very charismatic guy. And he's definitely thinks on his feet, and he says really funny, witty things. And he always puts a smile on Victoria's face. So I think I think that he's definitely grown as a person, and I think she sees that. And hopefully, they get together because, I think they would make a good couple, and they have two precious little babies.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny and Katie are literally the cutest freaking kids ever. They are so adorable.
I saw them up close and personal. I was their babysitter somehow. But they're like little humans, and they're so cute. Oh my God. Katie was so cute.
I've always, until now, I have been on the fence with Billy and Victoria because they used to be played by brother and sister, and I think that was gross. But with Jason Thompson and Amelia Henley, I'm like, oh my God, they're soulmates.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there really is a real chemistry between those two. So I definitely, I mean, it is so obvious. It's written all over the walls that it's they're going to get together. And it's it's the holidays. You know how it is. You just kind of you want to have somebody. And Victoria, she's very strong, but, she doesn't want to admit it, but she doesn't want to be alone on the holidays. She's like, I'm a big girl. It's yeah, but everyone wants somebody, especially in the holiday season, Yeah. That's why it's the number one, hookup season. Well, I don't know about hookups, but, relationships happen the most over the holidays. That's what I hear.
Oh, yeah.
Match.com.
Well, that's why I was born in October, I think, and my brother was born in March.
Oh, yeah, right? Makes sense.
I know. I don't know. I guess Billy and Victoria. Let's talk about Travis a little bit before we go into because we've got some good comments on Chloe and her baby daddy. But let's at least mourn Travis for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have a moment of silence.
A moment of silence for Travis.
He's good looking.
Yeah.
He's going to be missed. But you know what? He dug his grave. He absolutely did.
I know. He should have been upfront with her in the first place. Because Billy having to say it was annoying. Because Travis should have been the bigger guy, like he pretended to be.
Yeah. And him proposing to her, it was just all so forced and so obvious. And I think Victoria, I think all of it just didn't really sit well with her. And it just seemed so disingenuous. So she was like, hey, get out of here. I don't have time for you. And she has to think about her kids too. It's she would have brought him in as the the stepfather to her kids, and just to push him out of their lives. I mean, even though they're not married, I mean, the kids still ask about him.
Yeah,
and
because Travis was great for the kids. That's what Billy always said too. Yeah,
and it's a big deal. Yeah, but it would have been a bigger deal if they got married and then got divorced. It'd be harder on the kids. And so I hope that Victoria and Billy just get back together because the kids like you, the kids like me. I really liked that conversation that he had. I was like, yes, I'm like, oh, you're not talking to me, but I'm talking to my TV screen. Yes.
Yeah, Candace Mack said, moment of silence until he slept with Michelle. Oh, burn. And Gisela has the best comment ever because you guys look like Elsa and Anna from Frozen. I guess I'm Anna with the red hair.
Oh, because I have the pigtails,
yeah.
maybe. Ooh,
You want to build a
hey.
snowman?
You know, I was almost hired to play Elsa, or I forgot which character I was supposed to play in Frozen, but I was supposed to play a character. But I didn't know enough about it, so I didn't get hired.
You've never seen Frozen?
I've never seen Frozen, but I know.
Well, I know
Let
that
it
I'm
go,
seeing. Yeah.
Let it go. I know that song, sort of, kind of, not really, so don't make me sing it. But
Let
yeah.
go of your wings and
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah. As you guys can tell, we love it when you talk about us.
I know,
so
and
give
I'm
us
like, I
compliments.
love musicals, guys. I think Tangled is better than Frozen. We had this great debate at a Smurfs event a few weeks ago, but I still love Frozen, and I totally love Anna because Kristen Bell. I mean, I am Veronica Mars, so I get it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've gotten a couple times that I look like Kristen Bell. I don't really see it, but hey, I'll take it. She's a hottie.
Yeah. But everybody was talking about Chloe's baby daddy, so let's just get into Chloe a little bit. Like, some people were speculating that maybe Travis could have been, and now they're saying Ronan. And just so you guys know, I would literally shit a brick if Ronan were to come back. I'm just going to say it because I love Jeff Branson and was so mad that his Supergirl stint was only one episode. So he has to come back to Y&R.
Yeah, you know what? I'm hoping that Chloe's baby daddy isn't the obvious Billy or Kevin. I hope it is someone else. So Ronan, it was before I was watching the show, so I don't know who Ronan is, but Ronan, please come back and be the baby daddy for Chloe's baby daddy. If I say baby daddy one more time, I swear. But yeah, I mean, Kevin's onto it. He's onto her. And you know what? He needs to start doing his little detective work and find out who exactly is, the baby daddy.
Well, I like that
Bella,
Chloe
right?
explained why she was upset, and it made sense, even if it was kind of a lie because she knew that information was back there. It's just... Now, I've never been in a mental institution, but I know people who have, and also people who've been to military school or other things like that. And so that is the thing, is you don't have any privacy. People do go through your stuff and things like that. So to have her explain it that way, even if it was somewhat not true, I liked it because it made you feel for Chloe.
Oh, absolutely. And she's very smart. So she knows exactly what to say, when to say it, and she has Kevin wrapped around her fingers.
Yeah.
She can manipulate him any which way. She has him walking on eggshells around her. That's why Kevin hasn't really tried to find out who the father is, because he's so afraid of losing Chloe. And she really has that power more than like a lot of the other females on the show. It's like she has this, like, she puts a trance on you, She sort of did it with Adam, but she definitely with Kevin, she like can manipulate, you to do what she wants you to do. And then you like feel for her. It's like, no, she's crazy.
Oh, I love Elizabeth Hendrickson and have always, because she played twins on All My Children. But the thing is she's just so awesome. So even I'm like, okay, Chloe.
Yeah, you could do whatever you want, Chloe.
Yeah.
She even can manipulate Victor. Victor hates her guts. And she stands up to him and he like ends up kind of like not melting, but it's like she really just has that power over men, especially, and even women. You see it with Chelsea. It's like Chelsea wants her to leave, and then all of a sudden Chelsea doesn't want her to leave. But I don't think she's I don't think she's not being genuine. I just think that she is just extremely good at manipulating people to do what she wants them to do, even if she doesn't even realize that she's doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't think it's always a conscious manipulation, but it is at the same time. Because like you say, I mean, because that was pretty much it for Kevin and Bella and that whole situation. Her scene with Chelsea is like, they are such good friends. It is weird when they don't spend time together. And I liked that they brought that up. And I like their relationship. I want them to be the Laverne and Shirley on the show. Like,
Yeah, I know. But Chelsea really kind of had attitude with Chloe. She was like outing her. She was like, I hope that you like don't like say something to Hillary. I know you're not her biggest fan. It's like, Chloe's like, you think that I'm going to throw, like, you know, our whatever under the bus, like our first, like, show, like, under the bus just because? She goes, well, you've done it before. Yeah. Well, that's major shade. I was like, wow, but she did do it before at the fashion show.
Yeah.
And she got the dress or something like that?
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that was a different time for Chloe. She was, it was after Delia's death, so I get it. And it was kind of, like, harsh for Chelsea to bring that up, but I liked how Chloe played it off. Like, yeah, I know. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's like, she has a way of like, you know, just blowing things off and then like turning it around, where Chelsea's just melting in the palm of her hand, where they're like reminiscing about like watching GC Buzz and like having ice cream and wine and stuff like that. And Chelsea's almost a minute there like, oh, I don't want you to move out. Please don't move out. You know, so I love their relationship as well. The chat kind of agrees with us, right? Candace, Aaron Brody says Moses was on Thanksgiving, Beatrice. Oh, they're talking about
all sorts of
they're
different
talking about
stuff.
all sorts of stuff. You guys are talking about all different sorts of stuff, but we love you, mean it. Yeah. Yes. Oh shoot. They still hate Summer.
I know. And poor Summer was barely
We're not even
on.
talking about Summer, and they're like, I hate Summer.
I know, and I love Hunter King so much. That's why it's great to see her on Life in Pieces, guys. Watch that show Thursdays on CBS because it is a really fun sitcom. It's one of the only good comedy shows out right now. Like, and
I've heard good things about.
I mean, Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally are her mom and uncle. Like, they have this weird relationship, but like, it's funny. So I'll plug that a little bit because I love that show. But speaking of Newmans, there wasn't a lot of Nick on this week, but it was kind of okay because he, you know, been front and center for so long. So the Victor Ashley scene, though, that was something that has not happened in so long. I forgot that they were married almost, Abbey existed, because they've not had that. And to me, it was almost just like everything fell into place. Their scene just made so much sense, and they talked it out so well about their love for Abbey and just all the other crap going on in their lives. I'm like, I love them together.
Yeah.
Even if they're not together.
Yeah. No, they definitely still have a bond. And, you know, it's funny because Ashley even said, she was like, isn't it crazy that, you know, our daughter's all grown up and we're still worrying about her like she's a little girl? But it's like, that's parenthood for you. And the fact that they still get along and they kind of come together for Abbey is really great. And like we were saying before, Victor is giving Abbey great advice.
Yeah.
With this whole breakup, divorce process, he's really giving her excellent advice. And so is Ashley, but like really Victor's stepping it up, and he's really, he's giving even better advice than Ashley. And I'm like, wow, Victor, wow.
To me, Victor is such a good dad to Abbey, and I have not seen that until recently. And it's sad because to Victoria, he's not. Like,
but she's a Newman.
Yeah. Well, I
Abby's a
just
Newman
want
too.
you to say, not I told you so. And he couldn't. And I was like, but to Abbey, he's like, oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I think he holds Victoria to like a different standard, you know, like I think Abbey can get away with murder, whereas Victoria, he's like,
he has higher expectations.
Exactly.
It's just like, you know, me versus my brother and my family.
yeah. So I definitely like, yeah, it's weird, but I definitely think like Nick and Victoria, it's like he holds them to a way different standard than anyone
because
else.
they're Victor and Nikki's kids.
Yeah, exactly, you know. And, you know, I definitely think that he plays favorites. And I think that he feels like he has to baby Abbey. You know, he has to be like, oh, but it's going to be okay. Come on, sit down. Whereas Victoria, it's like, you're supposed to be an independent woman. What are you doing? What are you thinking? You're supposed to see people like Travis coming. You're supposed to protect the Newman name, you know, whereas Abbey is like, it's okay, you know. But I totally see it as well. And I feel bad for Victoria. But that's what I think is going to push her closer to Billy, because he is there for her in that attribute. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I guess we'll talk about the Abbotts a little bit. We did have the breakfast, and I love that Tracy got mad and was like, "No, Billy should be here," and then he showed up. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that moment, but I was so mad at Jack. He was he was just so nasty to Billy. I'm like,
Oh.
come on, Jack. I understand where you're coming from, but give Billy a little bit. He's trying. And he is an Abbott. Like, he was trying to tell him he's not an Abbott. It's like, that's not your place to tell him that he's not an Abbott.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and what I love about that scene is, and two, what I hate is we got a new writer, so they understood history because she had been there before, Sally Sussman. But at the same time, she forgot that all this progress had been made with Billy coming in on Thanksgiving and them sort of repairing. So it was almost like that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing that irked me, is that the Thanksgiving, Billy coming and bringing food and all that didn't happen.
That progress, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I definitely feel like they skipped that progress. Absolutely. Like, Jack was just he was just a rage. All the progress he made with Phyllis, gone. All the progress he made with Billy, gone. And it was sad because Jack is a loving character, but he was just so cold as ice.
Yeah.
It just didn't really
It
seem
didn't
right.
fit, yeah.
It didn't fit at all. It was like Tracy was like trying to reason with him. Ashley had tears in her eyes, and she had that great moment with him where she was like, "Well, I'm less an Abbott than Billy."
Yeah, I
Oh my
love
God,
that
was a
they
strong
brought that
scene.
up, because I didn't realize that Billy and Tracy didn't know. Only Jack and Ashley, and then John know that Ashley
Yeah.
was the tennis players.
Yeah. No, but it's like, Jack was like, "No, I didn't mean you." But it's like, you can't say those words, Jack, and then not expect them to hurt Ashley. He wasn't even thinking about
Yeah.
how, like, his words would totally hurt Ashley. And even after that, he still was just, "No, Billy's not allowed in this house."
No.
It's like, it just didn't really seem like all the progress that Jack made, it just like he digressed. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I say that was the only thing that irked me about the new writing. It's like, I get the reason, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, like Jack and Billy had already sort of made some progress, but I did like that Jill and Billy had that scene to encourage him. She's like, "No, just because you're my son doesn't mean you're any less an Abbott."
Yeah. It is true, and I just wish that Jack would just kind of, I hope that they kind of wrangle his character, because he just seems like he's just so mad and
Yeah.
has so much rage. It's like almost like they're trying to make him Scrooge,
Yeah.
right?
And Brian McGee brings up a good point. I felt sorry for Jack at first, but at this point, he's just throwing stones into glass houses, because he did the same thing to his dad. And they brought that up, like him sleeping with Jill, who's Billy's mom.
Yeah. You know what? Like, half of these characters have done, whatever they're like putting you down for, they did themselves. So you do have to look in the mirror. And that's why a lot of the times, there are forgiven. Like, Jack
Yeah.
should forgive Billy because he did the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's why, Chloe and Sharon bonded, because it's like they both relate to each
And
other.
that works. Yeah.
And it works. So, yeah. So I really hope that, Jack turns it around. And that was really, a sad moment with Phyllis as well, when he kissed her and said,
Yeah.
"Bye, Red." Oh, I was like, no, that was like a
Aw.
really sad moment, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, because I like them together.
Yeah, I was like, no, it seems so final, and I'm just like, but they made so much progress. But I almost like that moment, because it was just such a tearjerker,
Yeah.
where he was just like, like she was like, but is this is the end? Because it's like she's been trying so hard, and she wants to have, what Michael and
Yeah,
Lauren
Lauren
have,
have, yeah.
and he was like, "No, we don't have what they have," and I'm like, "Oh God,
Oh,
jeez."
They so do. And just so you know, but like, let's get into this, because I think it's our last storyline, is the Phyllis and Lauren scene. I'm really excited as to what's coming for this, because I do think Phyllis is going to go over to Fenmore's, and that's where Jack's going to chase her, because they are like Lauren and Michael. They are meant to be together, and Lauren and Michael went through a cheating scandal. And I like that they bring that up and relate to that. That's like, history. and you know how they relate, because Michael is Phyllis's best friend, and two, that's something that's also been remembered, because I know they had that falling out during the Passkey storyline and stuff, but they are best friends. And to have Lauren talk about her financial issues with Finmore's, with Phyllis, and then Phyllis wanting to come in and help, I'm like, this excites me. And this is how Phyllis and Jack are going to get back together, because she's going to leave and he's going to need her.
Oh, absolutely. And I love that moment with Lauren and how real she was.
Oh, yeah.
And I like how Phyllis protected her, because Jack was trying to like figure out what's going on with Lauren, because she's always like, oh yeah, charity,
Yeah.
I'll give that, I'll give that. And she was like kind of being more hesitant, and she let Phyllis know, but she didn't quite let Jack know. So I'm glad that Phyllis is kind of keeping that to herself, and that this is going to be her own venture, because the old Phyllis will kind of come back and she'll get her bearings back, and that's when Jack will want her back.
And two, it's good to have Lauren and Michael in a storyline that's new and inventive and relevant, like about the economy and stuff like that. And I wish we could talk about it more, but we kind of need to jump into news and gossip since there was a lot this week. So, Tristan Lake LeBeau joins the cast as a Suarez, as in soap opera rapid aging syndrome version of Reed, Victoria's oldest son, with that Luckenbill's character.
Luckenbill,
Yeah,
like
I know. And it's funny because they're really married in real life. So it's always funny thinking
I know.
he's JT Hellstrom, but he's also a real husband. But he's a cute kid, and it's nice to see. This will be the Villy angst, I'm guessing, instead of Travis, is her teenage son.
Yeah, no, yeah, he was in the scene I was in, and he is such a good little actor. And I'm going to be curious to see how Victoria handles that,
Yeah.
having a teenage son.
Well, cool. Speaking of Victoria, her beau, Michael Rourke, departs as Travis, which makes us all sad because we had way more storyline for Travis that we invented in our heads, right?
Yeah, we invented him being with Abbey, and then Summer, and then Ashley, and
Yeah,
then
all of
back
it.
with Victoria. I don't know.
And two, Michael Rourke does get a lot of primetime work, so maybe that's it. But
Yeah.
he's always welcome back. We love Travis.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, speaking of people leaving, castmates say goodbye to Steve Burton, and this was so heartfelt to me. Some of the comments from, crap, I'm like losing my mind here.
No, it was
Basically, Brighton James. Okay. And,
Brian James. Yeah, Devon. Well, we
and
can
then
say
Daniel
Devon
Goddard.
Kane. We can
I
call
was
them-
like, Devon and Kate. I'm like, I know their real names. Daniel Goddard and Brighton James. This is Lacretia's brain fart here. But yeah, they had such sweet comments about Steve instead of Tracy Bregman, everybody else, because he's taped his final scene, so that will be going into the end of January.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of great moments. And the cast they're so close, they
Yeah.
really bond, and you could just tell, you could tell in the photo, and you could just, whenever I'm around them, it's like, wow, they're like family. They really are.
Yeah, and they have nothing but sweet things to say about one another, and it's so awesome because, yeah, I remember when we had Cameron Grimes in the studio to talk about it. She's like, it's a family again with Sharon Case and Josh Morrow, and I feel like that's the way they felt about Steve, even though he wasn't there as long. It's still, I love Steve Burton too. That's why I came to this show.
Oh yeah, he's great. Oh, that's I love it.
But speaking of love, let's get into our segments really quick, like Swipe Right.
I miss you, dig you, love you, mean it, bye. You kiss me, diss me, who the hell?
Hi guys, this is Swipe Right, where we're talking about love that could possibly happen in Genoa City. So I'm going to get to it. I think absolutely Victoria and Billy are going to happen. And
yeah.
I agree with Lacretia. I think it's going to happen before or like on Christmas. I think they're going to share like a nice kiss. I think they're absolutely going to share Christmas together. And I think they're going to be a happy little family again. And I think that's exactly the Christmas miracle that Victoria needed to get over Travis. And I think Billy needs it as well. They both need love. And especially after Phyllis and Billy and all that drama. And hopefully the Christmas miracle of Jack and Billy getting back together as well. So I'm going to give them a swipe right, even though in a different way, in a, you know, platonic way. But hopefully as brothers, they get back together. And like, I loved when Tracy was like, a Christmas miracle will need to happen. Well, I sense a Christmas miracle happening. So.
Yeah, that's my thing is I love Billy and Victoria together right now. And that's the thing is the best way to get over someone is get under someone else, even if they're your ex. And two, I think Paul's brother, you know, played by Corbin Burnson, will be returning. Because he always comes for Christmas miracles. And I think he'll be the one to patch up Billy and Jack, and I'd like to see that just because I love Corbin Burnson. But I hope that happens. We're not slated to see anything from him yet, but who knows? They have secrets all the time. But that brings me to my winners and losers of the week as we wrap it up here. My winner this week, you probably already guessed, has to go to Devon, because Devon was my favorite character this week. Him, like, yeah, he may have had sex with Hillary, and you're like, oh, what's he doing? But he's like, no, you're still fired. And then when he gave that pep talk to Mariah, I can get it out because I'm so happy. It was like, this guy's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Devon is absolutely the winner of the week for putting Hillary in her place.
Oh, yeah.
And she deserved that, absolutely. And Mariah needed a pat on the back for all of the hard work she put into JC Buzz and the credit that she didn't get. That Hillary didn't give to her and took on for her own. She's like, oh, I came up with that. It's like, Mariah, this is her time to shine. And thank God, Devon, something hit him in the head. And he realized that Hillary is no good. And hopefully he realizes she's no good to be his wife.
And speaking of no good, she's my loser for this week for all the reasons that we've said this entire show. So, I mean, is there any more to be said about Hillary? Let's throw in a few predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
To me, I predict that the new guy is going to be for Abbey, but like you said, I think he may mix it up with Hillary at first, because Hillary's going to be alone and pathetic and like, I lost my rich man.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I think this new guy is going to go both for Hillary and Abbey, and hopefully he ends up with Abbey. And my other predictions is just like, I just definitely sense Billy and Victoria ending up together.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening, party people. It's happening. And I'm so happy because I think they do genuinely deserve each other. Well, that doesn't sound bad. They deserve to be happy and be together.
Exactly.
It's
they
not
deserve
bad. They
each
deserve
other,
each other,
but in a good way.
I know it's weird when you say they deserve each other. It's like a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you deserve. It's like, Hillary, you deserve to be alone.
Yeah, it's not always a bad thing. But yeah, I guess that's it for us on the Restless wrap-up, guys. Stay tuned for the bold breakdown. Also, be sure to give us that thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a comment on iTunes. If you do, we will read it, like, big time. We're also on SoundCloud, Google Play, all sorts of things when you look up the Young and the Restless after show from AfterBuzz TV. Abby, where can they keep up the conversation with you?
I would love you guys to keep up with me at Abby Scott 1. And yes, 2 thumbs up, 5 stars for AfterBuzz TV. And yeah, leave us comments. We always reply, Lacretia and I.
All right, guys, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. And be sure to tweet at us with the hashtag APTYNR, because we'll respond. Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.